The Florida-Georgia game, Hall of Fame. It is such a special time. The world's largest outdoor cocktail party. We got it all going on right here in Duval. And I probably need to rephrase it, say it's the Georgia-Florida game, Hall of Fame luncheon, because we've got a Georgia inductee in Sony Michel. Congratulations and welcome. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Listen, it's an incredible honor to have a game that has enough big-time players like a Sony Michel being inducted.
100%, and that's why I'm so honored to be a part of this Hall of Fame. And I was, pretty surprised that I was being inducted, and I was just tried to take it all in, right? Because you talk about the prestigious players and the magnitude of this game. Yeah. And I know from being from playing in this game and understanding what this game is all about. So, this is something that I'm taking it in, and I'm excited to see what happens tomorrow.
So you've played in some heavy-hitting games in college and the NFL.
Yeah.
Where does this game fit, this rivalry?
It's up there. It's up there. It's top, especially on the college level, because this was a game that was obviously taken so seriously. And early in my career, we fell short plenty of times. And I got them one time, and that time mattered the most, and that was my senior year when we came up big. And I think that's probably the reason why I'm being inducted into this Hall of Fame, right? So I'm very thankful for all those moments, from the times that it didn't go so well for us, from the time that it did, and now we're here.
Sony, I know how emotional these Hall of Fame inductions can be because I went to the University of Miami Hall of Fame. And I just saw your high school coach show up, and mine showed up at mine. I mean, how much does that mean to you right now?
That's huge. I didn't expect. I knew Coach Miller was a big Georgia fan, and he pops up at a lot of places, right? And there was times in my career when I was in college, I'll just be jogging off the field, coming off the field for warm-up, so even halftime, and I'll just look up. Someone would just be like, look up. And I'll look up, and he'd be like, Sony! And I'll just be like, man, I can count on Coach Miller being there.
Well, I said it earlier. That's like a third parent. Okay?
Yes.
He said you were raised well. I said, well, you probably had something to do with it, right? They shape you.
Yes, 100%. And, every time I see him, I don't know if he mentioned this, but so my 7th grade year is when I kind of started, like, this high school journey because I went to a private school. And I started playing safety for him. I was like back there he was coaching safeties at the time, I believe, and I was back there, and I was just kind of like, man, this is a lot of running. I'm like chasing down balls. Like I just want to play some running back. Like, when can I get my chance to play some running back? But he was a great coach, great mentor, and till this day, every time I see him, it's just like, all these memories just come back.
So we're asking everybody this, Sony. Do you hate the Gators? Is there hate, or is it more of like a healthy hate or healthy rivalry?
It's a healthy hate rivalry. I would say healthy hate. Not too many teams, because I appreciate the rivalry, right? When you appreciate the rivalry, it's a healthy hate. Like, there are teams. There is a team that I hate. And
what team is that?
That's Alabama. I hate Alabama. And I finally got to I think it was like just last year. I was just like, I hate them. Like, I finally came out and I was like, I hate them. Like, it's not a healthy hate. It's hate. But, Georgia-Florida game, this game is huge because, I've always had peers, right? I'm from Florida. I've always had high school friends or high school counterparts, teammates that played at the University of Florida. So this game always was just like, I'm going against this guy or I'm going against this guy. So it was always fun.
I'm trying to figure out, you went to American Heritage in Plantation.
Yep.
How the hell you get out of Florida?
I know that was interesting, right? Yeah, so basically it came down to being recruited by a guy named McClendon, Coach McClendon. He's with Tampa Bay Bucks right now. He was a running back coach at the time, and he came down and he basically and he didn't have to do much recruiting. He basically told me what most people, I guess, didn't want to hear, and I took him up on the challenge. He came down, recruited me. He was one of my last offers. Georgia was actually one of my last offers at the time. Wow. And he told me, Sony, we got some good players. You're a good player. I'm going to give you an opportunity to run with the first team. If you're good enough, you're going to play, and if you're not going to play. And I was just like, I'll take my chances. Yeah. Because at that time, it was all about competition, and I knew it was going to be hard, but I needed to surround myself around good players. Right, and this coach, by telling me this, he didn't owe me this, but by telling me that, I knew he was going to have my back when things didn't go right, right? I can go to him and be like, hey, coach, am I not good enough? And he would be able to tell me or help me understand what I didn't need to do to be good enough. Because in my recruiting process, I was only hearing, man, you're the man, you're the man, you're the man. And I needed to know who was going to tell me, you good, but you can be better.
You need to hear it straight.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. And that kind of was struck. And obviously when I went to Georgia, fell in love with it, the players, the coaching staff, the fan base, all of the above.
Yeah, a better version, another level, whatever it is. We're talking with Sony Michel, an outstanding player for the University of Georgia. And like he said, he was able to get the Gators. And you had 137 yards. You had a couple touchdowns. In your career, you had over 4,200 from scrimmage. You got to have a lot of good memories wearing the red and black.
100%. When you talk about that red and black, every time I go back or go to a game, it's something about it, man, that just, that adrenaline that runs, through my body, which makes me appreciate the Georgia Bulldogs, made me appreciate the fans, right? The love that I get from the fans. It's almost like love, it's almost like family, right? When I see a fan, it's like, man, go Dogs. I was on a plane last night and, I'm shouting "Go Dogs" to people I don't know, but it feels like we know each other. You know what I'm saying? So that's awesome.
What was that Rose Bowl game like, by the way?
That was intense. That was a game that that was high stress. It was stressful, right? Because that's a game where people see the touchdown, and I'm very grateful for the touchdown because it tells a story. It shows a story of adversity. And every time someone brings up the touchdown, I bring up like, hey, do you remember that fumble? Because I fumbled.
Yeah.
Plays before that they scooped and scored, and at that moment I thought my career was over.
That's why you guys were in overtime in the first place.
Yeah,
right.
So I'm jogging off the field like, man, look at this big mistake. But one of my best friends, Nick Chubb, after that fumble, went straight to coach and told him, put me back in. Hey, put Sony back in, because we've always talked about the idea of fumbling, right? Yeah, you never put the ball on the ground, but as a running back, if you got confidence in your running back, you put him back in, and you kind of allow him to get plays in to get that play out of his mind. Because, that's just a play that's just like, man, how did I let that happen? Because you're overthinking it. You never know how it happens until you watch it on tape. So the whole time you're still in the game, you need to get it out your mind. So when Nick told him to put me back in the game, I went back in the game, and I just told myself, man, don't do anything to try to replace that play. Just keep playing football, and then good things happen for you.
So in that overtime series, Nick literally went the curve and said, get him back in the game.
Yeah, told him, hey.
Wow.
And then when overtime came, he looked at me, he was like, you going in? And I was like, all right, I'll go in. I was like, all right, I'll go in. I think, we'll see what happens.
Sonny, these games, these Florida-Georgia games, I always tell people that the defining moment is how you play in rivalries.
Yes.
I mean, I'm noticed more so in the games that I played against Florida State than any other game, because Florida State was our rival. I mean, the same thing, the signature rivalry like Florida versus Georgia, that's what legends are made of.
Yes, 100%. And I firmly believe that. I've always, big time players make big plays in big time games, right? And in those big games, even when things aren't going well, where are the dogs? Like, if you one of the guys, this is the time to stand out. And I've always prided myself on that. Like, I never really cared about, man, every year I'm going to rush for this amount of yards. It was always like, I want to show up when the competition's here, right? Like, I want to make sure people see me and be like, all right, now you're playing Florida, but you didn't show up. And I never wanted that to be the label, right? So these big games mean a lot. And I've seen it, even being a player. There's times when you're playing big games and there's some players that don't want to really be a part. They don't want no parts. They're kind of just like, let's wait till we play a team that I can just get my stats. No, get your stats now. So these games are special, and you definitely want to show out.
Well, listen, that's how good players are built. Congratulations. I know you're going to soak it up, Sony Michel, an inductee in the Georgia-Florida game Hall of Fame. Thank you, Sony.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, Sony.
All right, appreciate you.
Thank you.
Hey, Joe C. here. Thanks so much for watching 1010XL on YouTube. Duval, if you're a diehard Jaguar, like and subscribe to our Jaguars 1010XL channel. And Gators, don't forget, in all kinds of weather, like and subscribe on the 1010XL Gators channel. The main channel waiting for you, 1010XL.